Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are staying safe at your home. So today we'll start with the first class of class 9 biology. Before starting with the first chapter, let me tell you about the number of chapters in biology section. So we have 6 chapters in biology. First is lesson 5, the fundamental unit of life. Next is lesson 6, tissues. Then lesson 7, diversity in living organisms. Then lesson 13, why do we fall ill? Then lesson 14, natural resources. And lesson 15, improvement in food resources. So out of these 6 chapters, in the biology part, I will take up these 5 chapters except the 14th one, that is natural resources. That will be taken up by your chemistry. I have shifted it towards the chemistry section. So before starting, let me show you the book. As you know, you have NCERT book as well as one more, this Prachi Publications book. Okay, so when you will come to school, you will purchase both of these books, and NCERT book PDF of the chapter 1 that will start the first chapter, fundamental unit of life, I will share with you in your group so that you can see, you can read the chapter from NCERT now. Okay, so let's start with the first chapter. So first we will start with the fundamental unit of life. In this chapter we will study about the cell, its structure, its various components, the types of cells, and one very important topic that is called osmosis. So before starting, let me ask you, like you know that in the previous class also, in 8th class, we had this chapter cell structure and function, and in that also we have studied a little bit about cell structure, the type of cells, plant cell, animal cell, and here also we will do the same things but in some detail. Okay, so let's start with this. So you know what is called the fundamental unit of life. Why do we call cell as a fundamental unit of life? Why cell is so special? Because cell performs very much important function. It is actually called fundamental unit of life, or we can say structural and functional unit of life. In 8th class also you have this question, you had this question that why cell is called structural and functional unit of life. I hope you all have remembered that the cell is called structural and functional unit because cell forms the organism. So either any organism is considered to be cell when it is made up of, any organism is considered to be living when it is made up of cell. So cell, either organism is unicellular or multicellular. It is always made up of cell. That is why it is called structural unit of life. And why it is called functional unit of life? Because all the functions performed by an organism is actually performed by its cell. Either it is a unicellular organism or it is a multicellular organism. So do you remember any example of unicellular organism? Okay, let me tell you, like we have so many examples, amoeba, bacteria, protozoans. So we have, these are the examples of unicellular organisms. And multicellular, there are so many examples including human, animals, plants. So if either an organism is unicellular or multicellular, all the functions will be performed by the cell. These functions will include metabolism, reproduction, respiration, digestion, circulation, excretion, photosynthesis, everything. Whatever the function is performed by an organism is actually performed by its cell. So these are the functions, basic functions which is done by an organism to live. Okay, so is it clear now why cell is called fundamental or structural and functional unit of life? Because it forms the structure of an organism as well as it performs all the functions of an organism. Like metabolism means whatever we eat, like digestion is included in metabolism. So overall metabolic activities is performed by cell. Reproduction to produce new organism. Respiration to get energy from the food that we eat. Digestion, the food that we eat is a complex food, to make it in a simple form. The process is called digestion, we will discuss in detail. Then circulation means to transfer the food to each and every part of the body. Then excretion, to remove out the waste food from the body. So the cell will work, obviously it is a structural unit of life. But if the cells they work together, like in case of unicellular organism, a single cell is there. It has to perform all the functions. But what about multicellular organisms, which is made up of so many cells? In that case, cell is the many cells, they will combine, they will collectively work together and they will form the tissue. So a group of cells which will together work and they will do the same work, that is called as tissue. The tissues together will form organ. The organs together will form organ system, and organ system together will form an organism. Okay, so this is, you can say, how the cell work in a unicellular or an multicellular organism. It is not like the cell will ultimately form the organism. There will be some different steps. The various organs, various tissues that will together form the organism. That will be in case of multicellular complex organism. Okay, so this was just the basic idea why the cell is called structural and functional unit of life. Next is very much important point is discovery of cell. Who discovered cell? Okay, in the previous class also you have read about this. So Robert Hooke in 1665 he discovered cell. Okay, so Robert Hooke was a scientist he was the first scientist who saw the cells under microscope. How did he saw the cells? He took a thin slice of coke. What is a coke now? Like if you will see the wood, the upper thin slice of the wood was taken up by Robert Hooke. Then he observed this slice under the microscope, and the microscope was not like the present microscope that we see in our labs, but it was his own made microscope. He has made his own microscope, and with the help of that microscope he saw this light. When he saw that slice, he saw some hexagonal structures under the microscope. These structures were exactly like a honeycomb. जैसे एक honeycomb होता है, beehive होता है honey का, वैसे ही एक उसने structure उसे दिखाई दिया that was made up of hexagonal compartments. Okay, and later on he called these compartments. He saw these compartments and told that these compartments are actually cells, and he gave the term cell for these compartments. But that was not enough. That was not exactly the cells, because he has taken the thin slice of cork of the wood. That was a dead tissue. Actually, he saw the dead tissue, dead cells under his microscope, but he was not aware about it. Later on, some other scientists came. They found the cells. They discovered the other cells, living cells. It means that Robert Hooke first discovered the cell, but it was not actually the living cell. So who discovered the living cell? So regarding the discovery of cell, so Robert Hooke was a scientist who first discovered the cells. Actually, he saw the dead cells, they were not the living cells. So there were one more scientist, Anton van Leeuwenhoek. He discovered the free living cells in pond water. He just took a drop of pond water and observed under his self-designed microscope. Okay, so he has his own microscope in which he saw the slide, and he discovered bacteria and protozoans, and some other cells later on was discovered by Leeuwenhoek, but these were the initial cells that were discovered by the Leeuwenhoek. So Robert Hooke discovered the cells, but they were the dead cells, but Leeuwenhoek discovered living cells. Later on, so these two scientists, they discovered cells, they observed cells under their self-designed microscopes that were not of very much good quality. Like these days we have compound microscopes, electron microscopes to see the cells clearly and to see each and every part of the cell. So we have compound microscope. Later on, the discovery of compound microscope was done. So let us see the structure of compound microscope. We have compound microscope in our lab also. When you will come to school, I will show you the original one. Now let me explain you the structure and working, how it works, compound microscope. Okay, so this is a compound microscope. The upper tube-like structure that you can see here is a eyepiece. So this is an eyepiece through which you will see from here. Okay, so you will keep your eye here and you will observe from this eyepiece. Next part is the body tube, which will connect this eyepiece with this structure. Now this is the most important. These two structures are most important. Now you can see this platform and this structure which are actually the magnifying lenses. Here I have already written. So these structure, they have the magnifying lenses. So the magnification can be vary. We can change the magnification. How we can change the magnification? By rotating this circular structure. So we have 10x, 40x, 100x lenses in this. So here you can see, through this lens we can see the microscopic slide. So can you see this platform which is called stage? Now over this stage we just keep our microscopic slide, on which we will keep our cell or whatever we want to see under microscope. So through this lens we can see through eyepiece into this microscopic slide. Now come to this point, coarse adjustment. Now these two circles, can you see these two circles? These are actually the adjustments through which we can adjust the focus on the slide. So this is the coarse adjustment to just focus, and then fine adjustment to make it more clear, so that we can clearly see each and every structure present on our slide, present inside the cell. Now this is the stage where the slide is to be kept, and this is also an important part, which is the mirror. When you will see the original microscope, so this mirror is attached in such a way so that we can just adjust the mirror so that sunlight will directly reflect through the mirror and enter into the upper side over this stage where the microscopic slide has been kept. Okay. So to make this, we can see this compound microscope, through which this we have to use when the sunlight is there, so that sunlight will directly fall upon this mirror. It will reflect over the stage so that the microscopic slide can be easily, clearly seen through this lens, which is connected with the eyepiece through which we can see. So this is the structure of compound microscope, and this is the base where the microscope is to be kept. And when we'll do one experiment also, an activity also of onion peel slide, I will show you how to make it, and we will prepare that slide also in lab, as well as first I will explain the activity how we can make an onion peel slide by ourselves. Okay, so let us discuss the first activity given in your book, that is the preparation of onion peel slide. For this experiment, what we have to do, we have to take a small piece from an onion bulb with the help of a forceps. Let me show you. Here you can see here. So this is the onion bulb. You can take a small piece, the upper transparent layer, with the help of forceps. So this is the forceps. So you can remove the onion peel like this. Later on, you will keep this onion peel into a china dish containing stain. Now you can see this pink color, light pink color. This color is because of the stain that we have mixed with water. We can either use any stain like either ethylene blue or saffronin stain. And why it is necessary, that why we have to keep it in the stain? Because cell is colorless and it cannot be visible without coloring it. So to provide it color, to see each and every part of the cell, we have to provide it color, we have to stain it, and for staining we can use a stain. Here we have used saffronin stain, okay, so that we can be easily see it under microscope. Now just keep for 15 to 20 seconds or around 30 seconds into this saffronin stain, and then remove it. After removing it, keep it on a slide and put a drop of iodine solution over it, and then a small drop of glycerin, and then cover it with the cover slip. Now later on, see it under the microscope. This type of structure will be visible when you will see it under the microscope, compound microscope. So here you can see the same compartments that was seen by Robert Hooke has been shown. So these are the compartment like structures, and these compartments are actually cells, and this outer covering of the cell is called cell wall. So this is the cell wall. Here you can see the dark structures which is called nucleus. So this is the nucleus which has been seen, and this is the inner part. The whitish structure is called cytoplasm. So this is the onion peel experiment. From this we can see that the onion peel is made up of cells which is seen in the form of compartments. So we will do this experiment, do this practical in the lab also, so that you will be able to prepare slide, means what are the steps to be followed to make a slide, and how the compound microscope can be used. So this is the activity which is given in your NCERT book. Here you can see the structure. This structure is shown here in this figure 5.2. So this is all about for today. Now your homework will be, I will share this NCERT PDF folder with you, and you have to read it from your book. And this activity, one video I will also share the link with you, so that you can see this activity.